Say cheese. Here we are on Main Street, and this is where we're headed. Okay, you're going to see some interesting bottles here at Noble Root, like this Foursquare Sovereignty. Really haven't seen that before. That's a rum, and that 10-1 is also a rum. Now here we have a barrel rye, aged 7 years, and a Peerless. A couple smoke wagon products, and a couple more barrel products here. We have the Calumet Small Batch and 15. We have the 16 at home. I have never heard of Rock Filter Distillery in Minnesota. So if anyone's heard anything about this, put it in the comments below. And the Fortuna by Rare Character is interesting too. I have about 4 or 5 Rare Character bottles on my shelf. Japanese whiskeys. I'm going to zoom in on the green spot because I wanted to see if it was finished, and it's not. My friend was looking for a certain finish on the green spot. That's not it. St. Patrick's Day is tomorrow, and here is a High and Wicked Irish whiskey. Never heard of Irish whiskey by them, but their bottles are becoming more prevalent in the area. Now, this Jimmy Red, I have heard of Jimmy Red. I have seen it at stores, but for some reason, I didn't recall the bottle looking like that. So I could have sworn I saw corn on the bottle and maybe a rooster. I don't know. The bottle just didn't look like that to me. More New Riff products. And One Foot Cock is a Buffalo distillery. We have their Bill's Mafia bourbon, but this is the Empire Rye whiskey, and that's bottled in bond. So that means it's 100 proof. All right, North River Rye, never heard of it. And the rum section blinds here. Taconic, that's their rye, but we're going to be picking a barrel, a cask strength bourbon with Bourbon School on the 30th. So for Taconic. And Nashville Barrel and Russell's Rye. Old Overholt, I haven't heard good things about that particular rye. And here's another High and Wicked product, straight rye. And Sagamore is always good. And there's your Russell Single Barrel. Great Jones is a New York City bourbon, and we just did a pick with Bourbon School again, and that's going to be released on the 30th. And here are some that I'm not too familiar with, right? I like Four Roses, David Nicholson. I want to say we went there. I want to say it's a Tennessee whiskey, but I remember having a bottle of that and buying it while I was on vacation. Your Standard Rise, your Saz, your Rittenhouse. Going a little fast there. Maybe because I was losing interest. Yellow Corn back there. Wyoming Whiskey, that's a pass for me. That's so low proof. J.W. Dan. Budget bourbon. Okay, so we're going to take a look at some non-bourbon whiskeys. I am really not familiar with these. So hopefully you can get a look at these. We're looking at some scotches, and I do not know how to pronounce those names. I don't know if these are good scotches. I do not know anything about scotch, but I figured let's show some scotch in this video. And I went to a different shelf here, and I think we're still looking at scotches. Yes, we are. I was familiar with that name. Now we're looking at the floor, and Are we still at scotches here? That I don't know. I am not familiar with any of those names. We're going to go to the tequila section here. And I do not know anything about tequila, even though I went to some tequila distilleries in Mexico and sampled them, and I love them. I don't know if there's anything interesting on these shelves. You tell me, is there anything interesting on these tequila shelves? And here's a look at the bottles behind the counter. That $230 barrel bottle is 24-year-old, and next to it was a seagrass bottle. Some interesting stuff in this store. If you're downtown, stop by. Okay, so all we did was we bought a bottle of wine while we were there. You can see that they have an interesting selection of bourbons, but it's limited. The last time we were there, we bought this bottle. Smash the like button, leave a comment below, and subscribe.